Welcome to RickRackRuby. I'm Laura Cluvo. Today we'll be making this flower fairy Christmas ornament out of felt. She's fun and easy, so let's get started. To make the felt fairy Christmas ornament, I'm using these felt squares from Target. This is called a felt library. And it's a stack of all kinds of colors of 6-inch squares of this super stiff felt. I've had a lot of fun with this, but I've since discovered that you can actually get this type of felt at any craft store. I'm going to use the red for the dress. The blue is the hat and the white is the wings. So the first thing that I did was I cut a little strip off one side. It was 6 inches. I cut it in half, so now I have a 3-inch strip. This is probably less than 1/4 of an inch. This will be the sleeves, and I want the sleeves to match the dress. I will cut the biggest circle that I can from the square, which is about a 5.5-inch scalloped circle. And then for the wings, a 2.5-inch scallop circle, and for the hat, a 1.5-inch scallop circle. I'm going to cut these out with my die cutter, and each one of these will be cut in half. Here we go. These dies are from Spellbinders, but there are a lot of different brands of scallop circles, and even if you have just a round circle die set, that'll work as well. Now I'm just going to cut this right in half. Be sure to cut in between the scallops when you cut those in half. And then I will sew up this seam for the dress and this seam for the little hat. But I don't need to sew the wing. Here's my dress and my little hat. I have a 16mm or about a 1/2 inch size head bead. Please watch my Focus on Faces tutorial to learn how to make the face. Let's begin. I've cut 2 lengths of 6-inch wide tulle. I'm using red to match the dress. Fold it in the center and tie it off with a piece of ribbon. Don't need this much ribbon, but I don't want to be too short. Just tie it off in the center. And this is going to go inside the dress. I'm going to trim the seam allowance, and then I'm going to snip off a little baby bit of the point of the cone so I can get these ends through. And I'm actually going to use a needle. I put this ribbon on a blunt needle to make this job a little bit easier, just to go through the point. Pull the needle through, but not the tool, and then I'm going to slide that head on. Turn the face around to the front and tie it off, although honestly tying it off doesn't do any good. It's just a habit. The glue is what's going to hold it. So I make sure that her face is in the front. This is the front where this little dip is, and then the seam is in the back. So I'm going to put a generous amount of glue right here to hold the head in place. Right here, and then press that into the glue. And then I will trim off the excess tulle. I like to leave a little bit showing below the skirt so it looks kind of like a petticoat. The next thing to do is the sleeves or the arms. The center gets glued behind the head, and then the arms are arranged like this. So a little smear of glue behind her head, or below her head in the back. And then the center of the arm piece gets glued right there. That also helps to hold the head. In the front, I will just sort of overlap the arms like that. That's pretty. And just a tiny bit of glue to secure. I will go ahead and glue the flower on just over where the hands overlap. And then I will stitch her little bow right there. Just going to pull the string through nice and long and tie a little bow. To tell you the truth, I don't need this ribbon anymore. It's kind of getting in my way, so I'm just going to cut that off. Now I'm going to arrange my bow so that the loops are the length that I like. And the streamers look even. That looks good. So I'll lift up the bow and I'll add a little smudge underneath, right under here, to hold that bow exactly the way I like it. Then I'll trim the streamers and tie an overhand knot into each end. Now she's ready for her hair. The hair yarn I've chosen is thin but kind of fuzzy. Gives her a nice texture. Hold the streamer here and wrap 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all you need. Leave a nice long tail on the other end. Wrap around the center and tie it securely. 2 times, square knot. Trim that off. And we're going to glue the center of the hair to the top center of the bead right over the hole. Right over the hole. Press that in. Then I'm going to sort of arrange the hair and glue it down a little better. I'll put some in the back. And then some on the sides. For her hat, I wanted to show you that it's very small, and since the felt is thick, it's a little difficult to turn it right side out. So just have a little bit of patience, turn it part way, then you can use a needle to pull out the tip. And it's really not that bad. This just gets glued to the top of her head. Beep. Just because the hat gets filled with a lot of glue, I'm going to sew the hanging loop through the hat first. There we go. Now I'm just going to add a generous amount of glue to the inside of the hat. Center it on her head. Hold it down until that glue is nice and dry. She's so cute. It's very important that the hat is secure because that's what's holding the whole thing together. The last step is just to glue the wing onto the back. And as usual, we'll apply the glue to the top of the wing piece and then press that into the head. Not the shoulders or the back or the dress, but actually right to the back of the head. This is a quick project. Thank you for watching my tutorial. If you're enjoying my videos, please like, share, and subscribe.